baby. Hello, nasty. Hello there. Hello. I say hello. Hello, friend. Well, hello, little girl. Hello, my treacherous friends. Hello, operator. The beginning of everything. Welcome back, my friends. It's showtime.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 378 of The Brink of Sanity. I am Jay. How you doing, Mark?
I am good. Jay asked me before the show, how do you grow a podcast? And I've been holding back on him all this time. It's been over a decade. He's never asked.
You
so,
son
Jay,
of a bitch.
how you get it? What'd you say?
I said, you son of a bitch. Holding out on this good info.
How you get it really big is... Oh, I hope my audio didn't go out, but I can't say that idea again. But I hope my audio didn't go out, but that was my idea. And just follow that method, Jay, and the show will get really big. You heard me, right?
You said 42, right?
I can't repeat what I said.
Okay. I'm going to assume it was 42.
I don't know what 42 means.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. They go to find the meaning of life, and the supercomputer takes like 3 trillion years to get the answer, and it says 42.
Oh. I have no idea how to grow a podcast. Hence, a decade later, we have this.
This is actually year 13 of Brink.
Were you trying to make me kill myself on the show?
We're trying to get the amount of seasons even with the number of listeners. We're getting closer every year.
So, Jay, you messaged me and Bri. Bri is not coming on. He doesn't want to break his streak of never doing the show again. Mm-hmm. But you messaged us saying that there's a new season of Justified coming out.
Yeah, so it's gonna be like a half season, like a mini series.
When is this coming out?
I think later this year.
Oh, that is an underrated show. That was a very, very fun TV show.
Top 5 all-time drama for me.
Top 5 all-time drama?
Yeah.
Your list sucks, Jay, then. I mean, come on. That's top 5 all time?
Yeah. It's an amazing show.
What are you...
I
like the show a lot.
There's
now,
no bad seasons.
You're going to make me talk against the show. I have to come out against the show because you said something completely absurd. It's a top 5 show of all time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what?
It's better than Stupid Wire.
Now you're just the fighting words, Jay. Jay's like, you know the song Happy Birthday? Yeah, I know that song. Top 5 song of all time.
All right.
Jay, do you think there are a lot of TV shows, new shows? Have you noticed there are a lot of shows being made?
Yeah, there's a ridiculous amount. I think Hollywood is gearing more toward shows than movies now.
So in 2021, how many original shows do you think there were between broadcast TV, cable, streaming? So all platforms, how many original shows were there? What's a ridiculous number, Jay?
450.
You think there were 450 original shows that came out this past year?
Are you talking about like first seasons, or are you talking about continuations of, like if they had
just original show? So either it's already airing or it's
I think it was like 450.
There were 1,923.
Okay, so yeah, a lot. That's why when people say you should watch this, I'm like, yeah, I'll never watch it, really.
Actually, I don't. You know what? You used the way you said it. Like, are they counting? Is this shows just on the air, or is it new shows that came out?
Well, think about it. There's like 100 cable channels, and there's all the streaming networks. So
this might be new shows that came out.
That wouldn't surprise me either. I mean, think about it. Every streaming site has to have like 6 or 7 original programs. And then every like cable channel and network has to have 5 or 6.
Do you know in 2002 how many original shows there were?
Yeah, I know, right off the top of my head. I'm gonna say.
I'll have to ask you to guess.
I'm gonna say 620.
127.
Oh my god!
Really, if you're an actor. And we're not, unfortunately, we're not much of anything. But there's got to be so many goddamn parts, to be honest, on some series.
I was watching.
This doesn't count movies or anything else. This is just TV or game shows. This is just series.
I was watching Blacklist yesterday, and my friend was on it.
Your friend was on it?
Yeah. I had no
You're
idea.
like, Bri was on it?
Yeah. That's why he hasn't been on the show. He was filming his big Blacklist series.
He's the new bad guy in Blacklist. He finally takes down James Spader. Who's this friend of yours, Jay? Now that you're name dropping, you have a friend.
He's Alex, who's done the show a few times. It's
Yeah.
Alex introduced me to this guy.
Okay. Was he? What was his part?
He was supposed to deliver a truck full of weapons to the main character, and he showed up empty-handed, and it did not go so well for him.
Oh, okay. So he's not going to be a reoccurring character.
No, he had about 45 seconds of screen time before everything went bad, but hey, it was, it's pretty cool.
You're like, oh my God, Ricky's on a show. Ricky's not on a show anymore.
I've seen him on 3 shows, and he's either gotten beaten up or killed within a minute on every single one.
So now there are 1,923 shows that you can get beaten up or killed on.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty good number. We should go into acting. Why not?
Why not?
It's got a lot of parts.
Yeah. I mean, I've been on TV a few times. It's not bad.
Yeah, mostly you're mostly like background work in like porn.
I mean, it's background stuff, not porn, but I've been in the background. Like,
I like how you clarify. You're like, it wasn't actually porn. What was the background stuff?
There was Conan O'Brien. There was a baseball game. What not?
Baseball games. You were for a baseball game. You mean you were just in a crowd shot?
Well, Randy got hit in the head with a ball.
Ooh.
And you see me and my other friend just start laughing. And then it cuts away.
She's bleeding. Ah. What was the Conan thing like? What did you do for that?
It was just a crowd shot, and he had like a bunch of like guys in monkey suits run through the back door, and we were in the last row, so like we were on camera for that.
Oh, okay. I once did a one of those bits on the street for David Letterman. I don't know if it actually made the air, but I was supposed to. It was around Thanksgiving. I was supposed to take a pie and run with it.
Nice.
And like I tried to like ad lib, and they're like, "Don't ad lib. just do what we told you to do." And so I just ran with the pie, and then I have no idea if it actually aired because they don't really tell you when it airs. And I was like,
right,
I don't. Yeah, they didn't give you any information. Just they're like, "This is for David Letterman." Maybe it's for David Letterman. Maybe some weird guys masturbating to be running with a pie. Who the hell knows?
Yeah, I was on like What Not to Wear, People's Court, and what was the other one?
So that was each one. What not to wear? What was that? What was the deal with that?
My ex did not know what to wear, so I was part of.
Oh, I think you told me about that before.
Yeah.
What about People's Court?
My dad was in a lawsuit about some installation job, and so I like came in with him. And then what was? I was on the
Judge Mathis show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had a roommate issue, and like our roommate moved out, and I guess we filed a claim in small claims court, and they pick claims randomly, or I don't know what random, whatever they do, but they offered to come on the show, and they flew us to Chicago, and we aired our case in front of Judge Mathis, and it was such a disjointed, like what actually happened versus what they aired was just so different. We were complete morons when we tried to present our case, so they try to air it to make it look like we're stupid, we're not complete morons. Like this is and he had a whole like case against us that they didn't even air because it was so ridiculous.
And yeah, they don't tell you when it's on, so you got to like check every week for like months, right?
Actually, I feel like someone we knew like saw it before, like saw like an airing of it, and then we found out it was gonna, or maybe we knew we didn't want to tell anyone it was gonna air because we were so embarrassed by it. But then someone found out about it anyway.
Do you have it?
Like people. I have it on a VHS.
Gotcha.
I don't have a VCR to watch it, but the best part about going to the show was they guaranteed, like, I think basically the show paid you. Like we actually got paid to go on the show, but not very much money. But then like we won the lawsuit, and the other it was never going to pay us, so like they paid you basically. So they guarantee your payment within 90 days.
That's cool.
what
MTV's True
was
Life was the other one.
MTV what?
MTV's True Life.
What was that for you?
It was the I'm a Gamer episode. I randomly entered a video game tournament, and then all of a sudden the doors open, these cameras roll in, and I had to play the guy they were focusing the episode on.
I think you told me about that. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
And then I was on the news twice.
What were we on the news for?
Once it was a big cheating scandal at my college, and
Okay.
I'm walking through campus hungover at like 8 in the morning, and the news cameras come up and they're like, "Do you want to comment on the incident?" I had no idea what happened, but I know what sound bites they use for the news, so I just started saying sound bites. Like, oh, if you're gonna do something like that, you got to know you're gonna get caught, and they used like all my sound bites, and then I watched the news that night to find out what actually happened.
Would you, um, would you, if you were honest on a news story, a mistaken identity where it said suspected sexual predator, and did a news story with your image, and then later on they give you $100,000 because they're so sorry, would that be cool with you? Would you basically be in a mistaken identity sexual predator?
No, that's
news
like
story?
the one thing you don't want to get pegged for. Like this really.
But
no
they're
coming
gonna
back from it.
later on they're gonna do like, oh, we're sorry, that was the wrong person. They'll admit that wasn't you.
You know, with
Buried on the fourth page of Google, you can find that.
even if
you.
they did a full hour special taking it back, the way people are today, they're like, well, that's just what they want you to think, and of course the mainstream media would say that, and like once it gets into people's heads, nobody changes their mind anymore.
Do you remember they did a movie also? I think Clint Eastwood made a movie about the guy, Richard Jewell, the suspected Atlanta bomber. Do you remember this?
Was that no?
It was the Olympics. Was held in Atlanta. Richard Jewell was a security guard, or he was a police officer or a security guard. He found a bomb, saved people's lives, and then the news, like everyone, some reason they suspected him of it, and people were just making fun of him to no end. Like Leno would make fun of him because he supposedly lived with his mom, and they just made him sound like such a weirdo, and also like a suspected like terrorist, basically. And it turned out basically all was completely wrong. He was a hero, and everyone kind of corrected the story later. And he ended up suing a bunch of people and getting a lot of money for that. But like just completely ruined his life basically because he performed a heroic act.
That's crazy.
And I think Clint Eastwood made a movie about him also, which I would be interested to see. I got a game for you, Jay.
Okay. The last news one was I found a gun in a shooting.
You found a gun in a shooting?
Yeah.
Why are you burying the lead, Jay? This is the one you don't mention?
I think I've told the whole story on the show before, like 300 episodes ago.
The last one was I took a bullet for the president. But anyway, let's move on. What was your game, Mark? What was the basic story again? You may have mentioned this already.
So Brian and I had some girls at the apartment, and they said they were going out we lived across the street from a pizza place. They said they were going to go pick up pizza. And we heard this popping noise, and our drunk asses thought they had fireworks. And so we looked out the window, and we see a guy running around the corner and another guy chasing him, shooting a gun. And so I said, I'm going to go out and find the girls. And I went outside, and I looked down, and there's a gun, like, on the sidewalk. And I don't know how much time passed because I was, like, really messed up. But apparently by that time, the cops had shown up, and cameras, news stations had showed up. And so, like, I start walking up to the cops, and I'm like, hey. And they're like, what? And like, they're pissed because I'm, like, clearly, like, shit-faced. And I'm like, do you know that there's a gun right there? They all, like, ran toward the gun.
Like, James, like, took a stand a bit. Do you know there's a gun over here? Gun!
And apparently, like, somebody saw me on the news, like, pointing at the gun. Like, so I didn't want to leave my house for a while because I don't know if they caught the shooter. And then I'm on there, like, pointing at the gun, which might have got the guy in trouble. So I was like, I don't want to go outside now.
Yeah. Would you ever buy a gun?
I wouldn't say never, but I don't really feel the need or desire to.
What if you, to make yourself feel more manly?
Right. Yeah, that's a perfect reason.
What situation would you get a gun? Like, you're like, zombies are real. Let's do this. Because I guess here's a question. Let's say there were 2 break-ins in your building. Would you get a gun?
Maybe. I was thinking more of a situation where I bought a house and there was break-ins in the neighborhood.
Yeah, okay. You live in an apartment building. They're break-ins. What's the difference? You're like break-ins in an apartment. I'm not scared. I'm in an apartment. They don't know how to use the elevator.
I don't know. I just feel like it's 240 units in this building. The odds of mine being one of the ones they break into are fairly slim.
But if I buy a house, it's going to be a mansion. I'm going to be a target.
Well, I just if they're hitting up that neighborhood, the odds are a lot better.
Don't you? I've thought about this. Don't you feel like as a criminal, robbing a house isn't like the best like risk reward here? And maybe you're not thinking straight, but what are you really getting? Like, it's not like people have tons of cash sitting around. You get a TV. The TVs aren't even that expensive anymore. You're getting you're stealing someone else's five-year-old like flat screen TV. It's not going to sell for that much. You're not. Are you getting all that great? Obviously, if you go into a real rich neighborhood, sure. But in an average neighborhood where I live or where you would live in a house, like if you broke into our house, it'd be annoying to clean shit up. But it's not like they'd get that much. Like they steal our microwave. Like
I think you're hoping to get lucky. You're hoping to find like a rare collection.
But like if you're gonna rob someplace, rob like a gas station. At least they have cash. Like, are you really like?
You never know.
If you rob a rich person's house, you go to the rich part of town. Sure, there you might really get lucky. But like,
I had an uncle who was in World War II, and he brought back like a ton of like Nazi paraphernalia. And
so you basically you're saying like if I have the antique roadshow guy with me, I can really pick out the houses and where to go.
Right. Well, like he lived in a shitty neighborhood, and they were probably expecting to like steal a radio or something, and then they found all this stuff that's worth a lot of money. So,
wait, hang on. He had Nazi memorabilia?
Yeah, he was in the war, so he picked up like stuff off the battlefield, like coins or pins or hats.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Sorry,
it's not like he was buying like Go Nazi shirts. It was like stuff from the battlefield.
Guys, I listen. It's just like buying a Bills Super Bowl shirt. You pick the wrong side. I can still wear the T-shirt. It's still a good T-shirt.
So I mean, that stuff's like authentic. That's worth so much money. So,
I mean, I'm sure it's worth too much money. But yeah,
I
mean, like I'm sure people are willing to pay things that you're like, dude, it's a little sick that you want to pay that much money for Nazi memorabilia, but cool.
So, side note, I have one of the pins like that. I guess didn't get stolen.
Are you selling it on eBay and you know the price? Because I would love to guess this.
I put it on eBay, and I had.
Wait, are you going to tell me don't tell me the price. I want to guess.
There isn't. I can't tell you the price.
Why can't you tell me the price?
Because eBay pulled it before it sold.
eBay. Why did eBay? So describe what is this exactly?
It's like all the Nazis had pins that they wore with the swastika on it, and so it's an authentic pin that they wore in the war.
So you tried to sell on eBay an item that had a swastika on, and you're surprised that your account was suspended?
My account was suspended. They just pulled the listing. Here's the crazy thing: it had 8 watchers within 10 minutes of me putting it up, and eBay pulled it within an hour of it going up. Like people were trying to buy it, and eBay was pulling it all within.
Okay, what were people bidding, or like what did you put it up for?
I put it up for like I don't remember $40 maybe, and like
wait, only $40 for like a real pin?
Well, I was starting low and seeing how high it would go.
You should have started at like at $20,000. That would make it like people would be like, "Whoa." Well,
people were all over it, but they pulled it before I got in.
Well, how high did it get?
I think around 100. This is all within an hour. Like, I don't know if people are just refreshing constantly looking for Nazi stuff, but like, I had like 8 to 10 people.
Nazi! God damn it!
8 to 10 people bid on it in an hour, and then eBay.
Jay, in Donald Trump's America, eBay would have let you sell as much Nazi stuff as you wanted. That's funny that they. I mean, I guess like they probably have. I can see why they pull it. But isn't there another source place you could sell that?
I don't know. I can't seem to. I'm like stuck with it now, and I don't really want it in the apartment.
I can't get rid of Nazi. I don't know how to get rid of my Nazi pet. No, he was in World War II. No, he was on the good side. I'm not. Sure, I'll come to your meetings.
I found a place in the Bronx that sells literally nothing but. It's a little sketchy, just an entire store of like Nazi stuff. And I emailed them, and
Nothing but Nazis. Everything's Nazis. Nazis gotta go. We only sell Nazis.
and so I sent him a picture of it, and I'm like, I'd like to sell this, and he said how much, and I don't know what I said, and he like never responded. And I'm like, that's all you do is buy and sell this merchandise, like.
I guess he wasn't a fan of your Nazi items.
Apparently
Jay, stop trying to sell your Nazi items everywhere. Stop trying to bring back the Nazi cause.
Should I put it in the Brink store? See if anybody wants it. We have 2 Brink shirts and a Nazi pin.
And a Nazi pin. Can they get the Nazi pin on the Brink shirt? Is it a twofer?
If you want, you could get both, yeah.
If you buy both T-shirts, I don't know if Jay will throw in the Nazi pin, but he should.
You never know.
Jay mails it and then gets well, you're mailing Nazi pin across state lines, sir. You're a terrorist. The FBI is following Jay, and he's like, oh, the fuck. This is because of TikTok. It's not TikTok. It's your Nazi shit.
Should we use the Brink Twitter? I'll be like and retweet this, and a random retweeter will get a Nazi pin.
I think we should do an entire podcast, or actually not, an entire YouTube channel, like videos following Jay around New York City, trying to figure out where he can sell his Nazi items. So 7-Eleven, you guys have a lot of interesting stuff here. What if you guys you sell the Nazi item for me and then give me the money? I'll split it with you, 7-Eleven. Where is the Nazi store?
It's somewhere in the Bronx.
Are you going to go in person, Jay, to the Nazi store? Maybe you should go in person.
No, I don't like going to the Bronx to begin with, and then going to a Nazi store in the Bronx doesn't sound like a good recipe.
Bring Kat. Just call it up. Bring your girlfriend. It'll be a nice trip.
Anthony says, how do you guys feel if you moved to the house next door to yours? He just did that.
Is this the house next door where he grew up, or just the house? Like, why is he in the house next door to the house?
No, I think it would be like if you sold your house and bought the one next door.
But my neighbor across the street grew up in the house next to him. Isn't that interesting?
That's like, yep, this neighborhood's as good as it gets. I'm never going to try out another neighborhood in my entire life.
I'm not going to get into the whole story, but anyway, he grew up next door to this house. He knew this family growing up, and so they were selling. And he was like, "Oh, great!" So his parents no longer live next door, but they'd sold their house he grew up in.
Right.
But anyway, he goes, and he's like, "Oh my god, I know this family the whole time. Like, this is great. This is like." It turned out there was a million issues they didn't tell him about. He ended up having to just had a whole nightmare with basically all these issues with the house. He's like, these people he grew up next to, basically. He became an adult. They sold their house to him and screwed him in many, many respects. But if I bought the house next to me, I don't know. All the houses here are kind of similar. So
I feel like most neighborhoods are. I feel like if I move, I want to do a significant upgrade, not like a slightly better house.
Jay, you moved to the apartment next to your apartment.
Yeah.
Why did he do that? If he could answer, maybe in the chat room, and you could report, Jay.
I think so you were renting and then you bought the house next door?
Well, that makes a little more sense.
Yeah, that's different. You sound less like a crazy person now.
Yeah. I would say it'd be cool if he was like, yeah, I bought the house next door, and we're combining them to make a mega house.
I was thinking that, the lady next door to me is 93. I'm like, what if I just bought both and took down the wall?
People do that in New York City. It'd be pretty badass if you did that.
Yeah, my friend's parents did that and made a duplex.
Oh,
they have 2 apartments in Manhattan. They just built a staircase into the apartment below them.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, they're like
Uh,
stupid, filthy rich, but
yeah, you don't have to add that last part. I figured that part.
yeah. Owning
It's
a single apartment in Manhattan, it means you're rich. Like owning a duplex is
uh,
you're stupid rich.
I knew a girl I went to college with where like they were like someone who knew her was like, oh, you should see their house. She like because you're like she lives in Westchester, like actually near where you are. They're like, you should see her house where she lives. And then like I was like, oh, they're like, no, it's like insane. I was like, what is like how do they have the money? Or like what's the family do? What's the dad do? And they're like, they own a building in New York City. I was like, oh, that makes sense. That's and she had like a $20 million house. It's absurd.
Yeah. I mean, that'll do it.
Which also I got a tour of the house, and the house was just a series of rooms that no one has used in a decade. It was just like room. They had so many rooms that didn't seem like they were being used.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Some people like they get rich and they buy a house that's just too big. Like my friend from elementary school, his parents got divorced, and his mom got this shitty house in my neighborhood, but
Yeah.
his dad lived on his own and bought this like pimped out house in Kings Park, and we went there, and it was the same thing. It was so many rooms. There was one room that had like one chair in the middle of the room and like nothing else because he just didn't know what to do with it.
Right. I don't understand the point of that either. You don't need so much space. I understand if maybe, yeah, I don't know. Especially if it's just going to be you. Okay, you want to play a game, Jay?
Yeah, Anthony has one more question.
Oh, please.
New York guys, how do you feel about him paying $600 for a 3-bedroom, garage, and yard?
Where does he live?
Believe he lives in Puerto Rico.
Okay. Wow. For $600, you could buy the ability to be homeless in New York.
You literally couldn't buy the smallest of that person with the 90 square foot apartment. I think pays $650.
Yeah, I don't know where.
Did you see that YouTube video?
No, I didn't see that. I don't know where.
She does a tour of her 90 square foot apartment. It's a little bit
90 square foot apartment.
yeah. So there's no kitchen.
I mean,
she basically has like a mini fridge and a hot pot on top of it. She has
where does she live?
Hell's Kitchen. She has like
Is this a legal apartment?
I don't know because like it was literally like
I mean, I get the idea how big that is.
it's
I'm
really
thinking
small.
It's really small.
She had the bed up on.
Was there a bathroom? She's like, I shit out the window.
The bathroom was so small that I don't think the door opened all the way, and you kind of had to sit sideways to like take a shit. She put the bed up on posts so you can like put stuff under it. So like under it was like a desk. So and then above it was her bed, and that was literally the whole apartment. You couldn't like walk.
You ever watch those tiny house videos like on YouTube where people show like they live in like these really insanely creative tiny houses?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're kind of fun to watch. Like
they're
just
fun
like
to watch,
insane.
but I would never. Yeah.
No, they sound insane, and like people are also they're living in like really cool locations and so forth. But like the houses are so unbelievably creative, even though they're probably like 90 square feet based on the whole house. But they're unbelievably creative. It doesn't seem like I don't know how you actually would want to live like this, but it's interesting. They're really fascinating like YouTube videos to get lost in.
You know, the doc and I won a lawsuit because they jacked up our rent in Manhattan so much.
No, what was the?
We were there for 3 years. After the first year, they raised the rent $175 a month, and we almost moved out. The second year, they raised it $400.
How much were you paying? How much were you paying total? Like what was?
It was. I think we moved in at like $1,900.
Okay,
So
I mean that's not bad.
It was
two
one bedroom.
Okay, one.
But the
okay,
living
yeah,
room was so big, we actually built a wall, and I had a bedroom, and we still had like a couch and a love seat in the living room. So like,
I mean, I've seen that. I've seen one bedrooms, but people do that. Yeah.
The second year they.
But I mean, it's so crazy in New York City. You're like, you live in a the two of you live there. Yeah, we converted a 1 bedroom into like a 3 bedroom.
Yeah. So the second year they raised it $400 a month, and the third year they tried to raise it another $500 a month, and that's when we moved to Brooklyn. We won a lawsuit, and We did not get a lot of money. You know, they illegally jacked it up for all those years, and I think we ended up converting that to like 6 handles of Captain Morgan.
I had a friend who lived in a rent control where they were basically there was something illegal with the rent also, and overcharging. It was like they were renting from a rent control person, and they were being overcharged, and it took years before they even got any money.
That happened to my buddy. It took him like 5 or 6 years, but he ended up getting like 20 grand. So that's better
Holy
than
shit.
Yeah, that's better than like the 250 that the doc and I got.
I don't know how much my friend got, but I remember just that it was like they were what they call treble damages. Basically, the damages were times 3 because just how the law was written.
Would have been
so they were in line. They were in line to get a lot of money, but I don't know what ended up happening.
I guess that's the difference between like a one-on-one lawsuit and a class action lawsuit.
Yeah, class action lawsuits. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's play the game. And if anyone has any questions in the chat, they can ask the questions as we're playing the game. Backed by unpopular demand, 3 truths and a lie. I'm going to tell Jay 4 items. Last time it was 2 truths and a lie, but we're upped it, making it even more challenging for Jay. 3 truths and a lie. Are you ready, Jay?
I am ready.
Did you like this game last time?
I did.
And if you didn't, I don't give a shit.
I know.
What's up?
I said I know. When you want to do something, you do it. So it doesn't matter if I like it or not. But
Did you like it last time?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
I thought it was a fun idea. I don't know. Okay. Okay, first one. Okay, let's do this. There's a startup in New York City that is opening up 5 high-end spirits, wines, and beers stores. The kicker is everything these wine, beer, everything these alcohol stores will be selling will be high-end but alcohol-free.
High-end fake alcohol?
Yes, faux alcohol or whatever the hell it's called.
Okay.
Faux booze. So when the high rum, whiskey, you name it, but it's all going to be without alcohol.
Okay.
That sound like a place you want to go, Jay?
That sounds like my own personal hell.
Okay. No, their second one is also alcohol related. Do you know Keurig? Keurig? Is it Keurig or Keurig? The little pods you make coffee?
Oh, Keurig.
Keurig. I'm a moron. I can't read. Keurig. They have conquered the coffee business, and now they're going into the cocktail business, or they've gone into the cocktail business where you can make cocktails in a pod.
I don't know how that would work, but okay.
Okay. Is that something you'd be interested in, Jay?
No.
Okay.
I feel like it would be watered down, and I kind of like making my own.
As of the date of this article I picked out, which is a couple days ago, the most popular trend on TikTok in 2022 was the showing pubes trend, in which TikTokers would do things like dance or other activities where there's, if you look closely, a couple hairs sticking out with the hashtag showing pubes.
I hate TikTok.
And last one for this one. Actually, I think I accidentally put 5 in here. Okay. Yeah, it's four truths and a lie. Yes, this one. I'm going to cut one of these. Okay, let's make it through 3 truths and a lie. Okay. And last one. BMW has created the latest in car technology, which is a car that changes color.
Okay.
So we got a startup is opening up alcohol stores in New York City that sell alcohol, that only sell alcohol-free alcohol.
That is definitely hipster douchebag enough for something in Manhattan to like actually make money on that. I'm going to say true on that one.
Okay. I still can't pronounce it.
Keurig.
Keurig is doing cocktail pods.
Mm-hmm. I'm on the fence about this one.
Okay. The showing pubes trend on TikTok.
That's the other
Jay
one
will be
on the fence about.
Okay. And then BMW has released a car.
I think I've heard the changing colors. I think I heard that one. So I think I'm going to go true on that one. So
So
I'm
you're
gonna
down
say,
to, and I'm not saying right or wrong, but
right.
you're down to the Keurig pods, alcohol pod or cocktail pods, or the showing pubes trend on TikTok.
See, I believe that the showing pubes thing could be real, but I don't know if it was the number one trend. So I'm gonna go for false on that one.
Okay, I made that up completely.
Okay. I can
Thank
see
God
that
that's
being
not
a
real.
thing.
And thank God our show's not popular enough to make that real.
Right.
The other ones are, I cannot believe there's 5 stores in New York City that will be selling. Would you ever go into a store to buy mocktails? Like, why do people drink those?
I don't know. I guess maybe you're a recovering alcoholic and you like the taste, and maybe you could trick yourself into, or maybe you want to fit in at a party, so you have something to sip.
You have a whole. It's not like you have a little section of like you're selling like the non-alcoholic beer. This is basically an entire store, like entire alcohol stores, 5 of them devoted to non-alcohol.
So it tastes like whiskey, but there's no
Yeah,
alcohol.
they're saying the idea is it tastes like the given alcohol. So they're saying it's high end spirits, wines, and beers without alcohol.
I
And
never got
apparently
that
this is a
because like
a real growing trend.
like O'Doul's is like the non-alcoholic beer,
Yeah, yeah.
but like beer and alcohol don't taste good. Like you drink it to
That's
get drunk.
yeah.
So why would you? I get like you don't want to eat meat and you try and get like something that tastes like meat because it tastes good.
Right.
But like alcohol doesn't taste good. Why would you want a whiskey taste if you're not going to get drunk? Like
I mean, most drinks, beer, alcohol. When you say it's good, it means it's less shitty than others, but it's not good. You never want that flavor in like a lollipop.
right, like I drink a good amount of whiskey, but I would not drink it if it didn't get me drunk.
Yeah, I don't
I
understand
find
that
that
at
to be
all.
insane, but okay.
By the way, in the story, I accidentally put 5 here. In the story that I'm not going to do, this is a real story. Is there's a Chinese woman who has been stuck on a blind date since January 5th in lockdown in China. They went on a blind date. There was a sudden lockdown in her city because of COVID,
Mm-hmm.
and they've been stuck in this person's house since January 5th. The longest blind date ever.
Well, that kind of happened to my friend. He went on a date, and then like Hurricane Katrina happened, and he couldn't get home for like 2 weeks.
Shit.
Yeah,
How are they married now?
they got engaged, but
Oh, okay.
no, but then they got unengaged because I think it kind of accelerated the whole relationship, so that they were engaged within like 2 months, and
Oh.
and I'm like, yeah, that's not good to do that. And like 6 months later, he's like, yeah, I think I made a horrible error.
Okay. Next one. First one. There is a growing movement in the QAnon world, which is a rather weird world to begin with,
Yeah.
that believes that February 22nd, which is 2/22/22,
Mhm.
will be the day the multiverse will be revealed. And they believe they will have the opportunity to cross over into a second dimension where Trump is still president.
Okay. I mean, QAnon stories can go anywhere. So,
It is 2/22/22.
I mean, they were waiting for Kennedy
Yeah,
to come back
JFK,
to life.
yeah.
Right? Okay. Like
Two,
hundreds of them.
a man is suing the New York Giants and New York Jets for $6 billion for false advertising for claiming that they play in New York when they actually play in New Jersey.
I like that.
Number 3. Do you know what a DAO is, Jay? In the terms of like the crypto world?
No.
It's a decentralized autonomous organization. It's kind of like a fund of money, and they've become very popular. I don't know if you heard there was a DAO that tried to buy the Constitution. Yeah, an original copy of the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, there's a DAO now, a collective of people that want to buy Blockbuster for $5 million, and they want to, I guess, reopen Blockbuster.
I mean, if you're the owner of Blockbuster, you're like, hell yeah, $5 million.
I think they're going to buy the actual brand name also, I guess. And then fourth one here. There is a NFT. You know what NFT is, Jay? We've discussed that on the show,
Yeah,
right?
non-fungible
token. There's a not NFT restaurant coming to New York, in which you have to buy an NFT from an NFT coin to eat in this restaurant, and where basically, and this NFT currently is going for over $10,000.
Okay.
Okay, so to mention them again, the QAnon movement with the multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
A man is suing the Giants and Jets for lying about playing in New York.
I'm going to go real on that one.
You're going to go what?
Real on that one.
Okay. There's the DAO that wants to buy Blockbuster.
That one's real because you would not have known to make up something like DAO. I feel like
DAO, yeah, but
you wouldn't have known about that. That's real.
And then there's the NFT restaurant.
I'm going to go real. I'm going to say the multiverse is the fake one.
God damn it, Jay. 2 for 2.
I started off strong last time and then I fell apart.
Yeah, maybe I was not doing as good a job this time. Okay. Number 3. So they released the list of top 10 YouTuber top 10 earners on YouTube for 2021. Mm-hmm. But there is blowback. People are complaining this top 10 list is too white and too male.
Oh my God. That's got to be real.
There's a new NFT. I get a lot of crypto news there, Jay. There's a new NFT startup that will help you sell your soul in NFT format on their marketplace.
I saw that Simpsons episode.
Yeah. They said maybe that's where they got the idea. They said they've already raised $30 million and claim when their marketplace goes live in March, they will have over 3,000 souls to sell.
Can you imagine running this big of a scam and getting so rich on it?
You mean the NFTs entirely? They all sound like a giant scam.
It's like a scam on top of a scam. You just watch a Simpsons episode and you're like, yeah, let's just try that and see if we get rich. And it works.
CNBC recently did a story about a 29-year-old nanny who and how she spends the $175,000 she earns.
Oh, wait. Say that again?
It's a 29-year-old nanny, and they talked about she makes $175,000. They just talked about what her budget as a nanny, making $175,000. It was a story on CNBC.
Okay.
Would you like to? Do you think that's too much to pay for a nanny?
Let's see. I have an MBA and a CPA. And yeah, I would be a nanny for $175.
And then last one, Kanye West is trying to make a meeting with Vladimir Putin in order to make Russia his second home.
Kanye is another one where it's like you could probably say anything and it's believable. I know Pete Davidson is upping his bodyguard count because Kanye said he's going to beat him up.
Oh my God. Okay, so the top 10 list of YouTube earners is too white and too male.
Real.
Or the NFT startup will help you sell your soul.
Real.
CNBC did a story on a 29-year-old nanny making $155,000.
Real.
Kanye West wants to meet with Vladimir Putin to make Russia his second home.
That's the fake one.
Okay, got you. That one's real.
So what was the fake one?
You want to try again?
I'm going to say the soul one.
Yeah, the soul one's fake.
It really was. You got it from The Simpsons, right?
I must have gotten The Simpsons. I thought of it. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I love the YouTube one though. Like that list is too white and too male. It's just how much money they made. It's just like people watching. It may be too white and too male, but it's like they're just earning money based on the fact people are watching their videos.
So I have two stories about people making too much money.
Yeah, do it.
So both of these are because guys are beyond pathetic and thirsty and will just give women money. And it makes no sense. And I don't understand. I it's weird stories, but I understand why women do it because, like, why wouldn't you? So
I think I know. I think one of your stories may be in my story. I think I am 100% positive one of your stories is is on my next list.
So this woman has been selling farts in a jar.
Yeah, that's on my list. That's on my the next one.
So she earned $200,000 selling farts in a jar.
What do you mean you get it? I don't get it. How do you get it? What the fuck is wrong with men?
No. I get why women would do it because if you're gonna pay $50 for an empty jar, I'm gonna sell it. Like I get that.
They were paying $1,000 for the jar.
They were paying $1,000 for the jar.
Yeah, and she's going to sell NFTs of the farts now, or she's selling fart NFTs. She previously was selling. I don't know if she's still selling, but the fart jars were $1,000.
I thought it was way less. It's $1,000 per jar.
I mean, my reading skills aren't very good, so let me look back the story.
I'm really Googling how much did the farts.
Yeah, a reality TV star sells her farts in a jar has decided to stop selling them despite making $1,000 per jar.
Okay, but that's still 200 people who bought a fart jar. That's a lot of people.
If there's more than one, there's something wrong.
Yes, that's my... okay, the other one. This woman earns 6 figures a month acting as a dog on OnlyFans. So she catches a ball in her mouth and runs around on all fours and barks and plays in the dog park and sleeps in a dog bed and eats food out of a dog bowl. And
don't you think like you'd want to see Joe Biden go on TV and go like, we really are concerned about climate change. It's going to kill us all. But we've seen like the fart in the jar thing. We've seen this thing on OnlyFans. Just don't recycle anymore. End the human race. We're better off.
We've jumped the shark. We really have. You guys would literally rather give hundreds of thousands of dollars.
She was earning $100,000 a month acting like a dog.
Yeah, we have homeless people in the streets, but give this bitch. She charges $20 a month to subscribe to her OnlyFans.
Why the fuck aren't the people like more people should be doing? It would be great. Yeah, I really enjoyed working here. I'm resigning. It's been great. You're our best accountant. Yeah, but I got a better job. What's your better job? I'm going to be a dog on OnlyFans.
And so
I see on your resume, it looks like you were a dog on OnlyFans for about 5 years. Yes, it was a very lucrative gig, but now I'm going to the regular mainstream workforce again.
So people request custom videos, and they'll pay up to $1,200 for
holy shit
to do whatever dog actions.
Okay, Jay. Here's the question, Jay. For $100,000 a month, would you be a dog on OnlyFans?
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you? $100,000 a month? I do it for 2 years, and I'm retired. Like.
Your neighbors are like, I didn't know you were allowed to have a dog in this building. It's my husband. It's fucking terrible. It's fucking terrible because he's being a dog on. No, it's fucking terrible because he's a dog on OnlyFans and he's barely making minimum wage doing this.
Yeah.
I've got to build a following. Jay, you've been a dog on OnlyFans for over a decade, and you cannot build a following. Just stop doing the dog thing.
This planet sucks.
Holy shit. How do you even... by the way, have you seen a picture of her?
Yeah, she's all right.
Okay. How do you... Can I Google her without going to the jail?
Yeah.
I don't even know how to what I would what do I look for? OnlyFans dog girl.
Google "girl acts like a puppy." It's the first site that comes up. It's from
Okay.
mirror.co.uk.
Okay. Girl acts like a puppy.
And
You know, the best part of a podcast is when you Google.
she's all right, but like,
She better be like smoking.
no, definitely
Like,
not smoking.
no, not even close, actually. This is the, I mean, she's mild. She's like, she's not unattractive, but like, Jesus,
Yeah.
holy shit.
Yep.
How do you even discover this is like a talent you have?
I don't
Was it like, do you take one of those like, with those tests in school and they're like, you should be a dog? I'm sorry. They're supposed to help me pick my next career.
She
Be a
probably had
dog.
an OnlyFans and like did it one day as a joke and started getting all these freaks like doing requests. And she's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to be a dog going forward.
Yeah, that's probably, holy sh. Okay. I'll give you two of three here. The FDA deregulates French dressing. The FDA has said they want more free market capitalism in the French dressing world, and so they no longer will regulate what is in French dressing.
Okay.
Number two, a 27-year-old TikTok star, Aaron Brasher, a plumber by trade, has grown to over 1 million followers on TikTok by playing trendy videos and then having a response. On TikTok, you can basically do a response video where you play their video and then you show yourself responding to it.
Mhm.
And then having a response where all he does is does thumbs up or thumbs down. He now he's gotten the opportunity to star in a Super Bowl commercial for Disney, where I guess he'll be doing his thumbs up or thumbs down to over 100 million viewers.
I know this has to be true, and I hate this planet.
And number three, a new tech startup wants to gamify the U.S. court system by allowing everyday Americans to bet on lawsuits using a tradable crypto tokens. It's called an initial litigation offering.
And the fourth one was the fart synergy.
Yeah, fart. Yeah. So FDA deregulating French dressing. 27-year-old TikTok star who does just says thumbs up or thumbs down. Now getting to be in a Super Bowl ad, or the tech startup who is letting you bet on lawsuits.
I'm going to go with French dressing.
That's real, actually.
It's the
This is
lawsuit.
apparently a big controversy and about what constituted French dressing, and the FDA has now said, "Fuck it, do whatever you want and call it French dressing."
Great.
Up to this point, what you had to have certain things to be actual French dressing. The TikTok star thing was bullshit.
The TikTok one. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That would have been my last guess.
But I like doing TikTok ones because I figured like you don't go on TikTok because you're scared of them spying on you freak. But you can bet on lawsuits.
All right. We have an email from Lorenzo.
Okay, do it.
Lorenzo writes, "Hey guys, just listening to the latest show. Brilliant as always. Here's my $1 million prank for Bry." So this was 2 episodes ago when we were coming up with elaborate pranks for each other.
Yeah.
When he is out for the day, you pay a local troublemaker $10,000 to flood his house, so he essentially cannot live there. When he rings to tell you, you say, "I have a property nearby that an old relative left me. You can just stay in that. I will send over the keys. In the meantime, you have bought an apartment in the city, and you give the keys to Bry. You then watch his brain melt as he tries to comprehend how to live in this place suspended in the air. Probably not good for anxiety, but quite funny." So if you don't get that, Bry does not understand how you can own property in an apartment building.
It's a really frustrating conversation. He's like, "I don't understand how you can own that. It's an apartment. I don't understand.
It like
I don't understand what you understand."
Yeah, it literally just blows his mind.
Yeah.
And Lorenzo writes, our email is thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com. Lorenzo writes, "Hey guys, Happy New Year to the 2 sexiest podcasters in the game.
Yes.
Brian the Doc.
Son of a bitch.
You guys are pretty decent also. Boom, chish. What are your thoughts on this? My wife's friends are pretty religious, which is fine, but every year as presents, they get our kids Bibles or Bible stories, even though we aren't into any of this stuff. We have a big stack of these now that we can't throw out in case they come over and ask where they are. What should we do?
You should buy their children the Quran. Just be like, just one. I thought we were just sharing religious stuff here.
I would either like say let's not do the gift exchange anymore. No, really, like just be like, money's tight. I'd rather not do a gift exchange, or you're gonna have to come out and put around like the Flying Spaghetti Monster has a gospel. Leave that on the shelf.
Yeah,
I own it. Leave that on the shelf, and maybe leave it out on the table when they come over, and so they see it. And when they ask what it is, you could say you're a Pastafarian, and they'll get the point.
I have a better idea. Mm-hmm. You can start a motel, and that way you'll have a place to put all the Bibles.
There you go. That's a slightly more expensive solution, but
it's an expensive one, but it is a solution.
And he said, how are Dustin and Rob from Uncanny Xcast going? Will they be back on at any stage?
I hope so.
I've been in touch with Rob recently, and he will be on. Dustin's trying to get on the Tough Man competition, so he's been spending most of his time lifting weights.
But we always love having past people back. We haven't had a guest in a little while on the brink. And we'll go back to more threesomes, right, Jay?
Yeah, I'll try Rob soon.
Okay, cool. What else to do with you, Jay?
Not too much. Just trying to recover. I had COVID between the episodes, and it sucked. It's been a long recovery. Yeah, we didn't even mention that on the show.
Oh yeah, Jay had COVID, and he died. So you thought it was bad just doing it via Skype. Now we're doing the show like.
I really can't believe you were the last one to not get it. I really can't. Really?
I'm the last host remaining that hasn't gotten COVID. My daughter had COVID very recently, and she's totally fine. But no, none of us, the rest of us. I've had many close calls, but I'm pretty good at dodgeball here.
Yeah, like your cousin got it, your daughter got it, like unbelievable.
A lot, yeah. We had a babysitter had it who was around us. My nephew was around us that had it. My daughter, and I wasn't like my wife kept being like, "Put a mask back on. You can't be around without a mask." I'm like she's 7. This is just annoying, and she also her symptoms were gone pretty fast, which was like it was. Thankfully, she barely had any symptoms, but it was also kind of a nuisance because you had to basically be locked down.
Yeah.
We're quarantined basically. And the whole time, like, this is kind of a nuisance. At the same time, I'm glad it's just a nuisance, but you're like, it is a nuisance.
Yeah.
How was it for you, Jay? Tell us, you've lived to tell us what COVID was like for you, Jay.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. There's a sore throat, a cough, and like extreme fatigue where it was like hard to even function. And like brain fog. It's just hard to like focus. And my sleep's been off since. Like one day I'll sleep fine, the next day I'll get like 2 hours sleep. So still I don't have the sore throat or cough anymore, and I tested negative, but I still get tired quick, and brain fog's almost gone, but like the sleep is like I don't know what I'm gonna get from night to night.
Sounds awesome.
Yep. So I'm glad we ended the show on that note.
I actually have 2 more if you want to do real quickly, or I can save for the next show.
Save them for the next show.
Okay. I don't want to overdo this bit.
Less work for you too.
Can we end with anything funny, Jay?
Well, that was my news stories. We're out of emails.
We're done. Okay, just slowly crashing the show to an end.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Brink of Sanity 3 is our Twitter.
Do you want to tell everyone your method to protecting yourself from COVID?
Well, I didn't. So,
Jay had told me he did not get the booster because he'd gotten the flu shot and wanted to basically wait a few months after that, so he'd have a shot every 3 months, I think, or something like that. What were you doing, Jay?
Yeah. So I'm getting my booster on this Friday.
So you didn't do the booster before COVID because you thought the flu shot would protect you from COVID?
I got the 2 shots, and I waited 3 months, and I got the flu shot, and I was going to wait another 3 months to get the booster. And I made it 2 3/4 months.
That's pretty bad luck also.
Yeah.
How do you have any idea how you got it?
No clue. I have no clue. The timelines don't match up with anything. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm like for my daughter, like nothing. The only thing I could think of is maybe she got it from like, I feel like it's school. It doesn't. She was in school, so maybe the school or school bus. That's the only.
I mean, it could have been a commute to work, but like it could also have been just getting groceries or.
Well, a kid down the block also got it. Their whole family got it. And she wouldn't normally like play with this kid or be in class with this kid, but they're on the same bus. I'm thinking basically that's where she got it. Though. She probably just sat near him when he had it.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah, I can't figure it out.
Everyone's going to literally, I think it's going to be pretty rare for someone not to have gotten this.
Yeah, definitely.
So what do I win basically for being still haven't gotten COVID? What do I win, Jay?
A couple more weeks of health until you get it.
Awesome. Can't wait. Sign me up.
We're also the Brink of Sanity on Patreon if you want to help support the show, and brinkofsanityshow.com if you want to get one of those last 2 shirts. And if you want to join the live chat, twitch.tv/crumpledbacon or youtube.com/TITOWAJ. We're doing the shows
Jay, would you
on YouTube as well.
Would you buy a gun to protect yourself from COVID?
I'll just shoot the air. It's been working in the South. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll be back soon.
My love. Goodbye, everybody. It's all over. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye.